Good morning, everybody. It is Wednesday, the 15th. I will be going back to work this evening at 2 p.m. Am I looking forward to it? Yes and no. The reason why I say yes and no is because I am looking forward to basically breaking up the monotony. Now, I know on one of my past videos I said I was ready for retirement. No. Not unless I had two things: enough money to basically retire off of and an RV. The reason why I say those two particular things is if I could afford an RV, that means I would not be stuck here all the time. Yes, I can understand that if I had more of an active lifestyle with an RV, maybe even without an RV, I would probably be happy enough to say, yes, I'm ready for retirement. But these past 9 days have been trying. There's a lot of things on our list of to-dos just for around here that we haven't even gotten to. So I'm thinking if I had the money to retire, a lot of the to-dos around here would get done a lot quicker. One of the things that I would like to have for my house is an outdoor storage shed. Not just any old slapped together storage shed. I'd like to get one of those nice wooden Amish style storage sheds that they've been. There's a place just up the road that has them. They look nice. We've never stopped to look at them, which I'm thinking we might be doing soon. That in fact are I guess with the new YouTube algorithm, Jerry did not get paid as much as she normally does. We were able to basically get between what she got from her YouTube income. Sorry, I feel like I'm gonna sneeze or something. Plus my income, we were able to get the house money into the house account for the house bills, which it sounds exactly what it is, the house bills. Mortgage, utilities, our monthly Amazon payment for our Amazon TV, Fire Sticks, food. The food money comes out of the house account. And then with what I had left over, we were able to pay minimum payments on our credit cards, our car insurance, our medical insurance. Luckily, our credit cards aren't that much because we try not to use them unless it's like either a must-have, or like we paid with our credit cards for going out to eat for dinner or things of a personal nature for us, our meds, our personal, yeah. Well, you get the idea. The reason why I'm not looking forward to going back to work is because, one, I don't want the stress. I have more stress while I'm at work than I do here at the house with me and Jerry. Even when me and Jerry get into a dispute over how things should be done, I have more stress going to work than I do here at the house. Granted, I'll be able to get out of the house and breathe actual fresh air because of Mom's smoking. I feel sorry for Jerry right now because this is the time of year that we normally have the house open up and getting nice spring temperature air. But last couple of days, we've had a cold snap hit the Midwest. Started actually Friday and went through the weekend, and now today's high is only supposed to be 55. Um, so we have not been able to open up the house and air it out. Even mom will open up the house and air it out at the high 60s, mid 70s temperature. Um, that factor, you probably can't hear it over my phone, but my heater right now is on. I don't remember the last time I had my heater on this time of the year. Usually this time of the year, the heater's off, windows are open. Yeah, my allergies might give me a twinge or two because of the pollen and whatnot floating around on the air, but I'd rather have a mild allergy itch. Mild allergy itch. I almost said ituation, my own word. Um, and have the windows open and not the heater or the air conditioner. Of course, the other day, my brain kind of went, you're trying to get into Norse living or even modern day Norwegian living style, and a lot of those places out there still don't have. There's actually a couple I know about. Let's just go this way. There's a couple I know about. They live in. I can't remember if it's Oslo or. But it's one of those Norwegian towns on the southern border of Norway, near the ocean. And they live literally. They videotape it. I haven't seen one of their videos in a while, but they used to videotape their day-to-day life. And the thing is, this couple, they're probably in their 30s, maybe a little bit older, um, maybe a little bit younger. I can't remember, but they live like they used to do during the Viking era. She dresses in handmade clothing made out of wool and suede and basically natural materials that they would have back then. And so does he. He makes his living as a blacksmith. She's just your everyday, ordinary housewife, I think. I think she sells her wares, her clothing and whatnot, her whatever handmade products she can sell, um, to everybody from tourists to locals. Anyhow, they have this homestead, and the homestead is not a modernized homestead. It is a literally, practically in every aspect, a replica, a modern day replica, and I don't mean modern day like they use modern day materials, but a modern day 20th century built Viking type house. No air conditioner, no heater, no electricity, none of that. At least that's what they show in the videos and that what they say. I've never been there, so I don't know if somewhere in the background they've got some sort of modern day equipment. But they live a Norse style lifestyle. And my brain is going, now from what I understand from research is those homes are fairly insulated by the sod that's on the roof. And the fact that it's built half into the ground and half above the ground. So you kind of step down into the actual home. But they're well insulated for wintertime. Well ventilated for summertime. Of course, during the summertime, most Norwegians or most Norsemen during the summertime are usually spend most of their time outside the house, feeding the animals, dealing with crops, dealing with repairs in the house, blacksmith, whatever their lifestyle is. Because I mean, you gotta realize Norway is half of Norway is inside the Arctic Circle, the other half is not. Um, so I'm not 100% sure, but you gotta think that like Alaska, if they're in the same region, same, I can't remember the names of those lines, but if they're at the same level as Alaska, put it that way. Alaska has 6 months of pure, certain, not all of Alaska, certain parts of Alaska, if not most of Alaska, from what I was told, has 6 months of pure darkness and 6 months of pure daylight. Which basically means they have, during the wintertime, they have less light, like maybe 4 to 6 hours worth of sunlight, and then the rest of the day, the other 16 or so hours is nighttime, and then it's reversed in the summertime where it's 4 hours worth of night and 20 almost 20 hours worth of daytime. Um, yeah, I can understand why the Norsemen were the way they were. I mean, heck, if I had to live in a land where I had 20 hours worth of light, um, I'd probably go a little nuts. The darkness, not so much. I like night. I don't like bright daylight. Call me a vampire, call me a werewolf. I don't know what it is. I like my darkness. I like low level light. It doesn't have to be pitch black, but it doesn't have to be blindingly bright sunlight. Early morning light, late evening light before it's totally dark. That's that to me is like perfect level light. It's not too bright, it's not too dark. But anyhow, um, but yeah, the reason why I'm kind of not wanting to go back to work is because one, the stress. Two, I'm kind of dreading to see what it's going to look like when I get to work. Is it going to be a total disaster? Are people going to be, have people basically been pitching in and doing their fair share of the cleaning and whatnot? I can understand that when right now our hours have been cut, it's kind of like my supervisor, from what I caught from the phone call I had with her on Friday, she's stressed out because they're changing policies. They're just throwing stuff at her as the store manager that is just throwing her into a chaotic tizzy because she's got to rewrite schedules, she's got to figure out this, she's got to figure that. I'm gonna go into work today and find out what kind of plexiglass shielding they said that they were gonna put up. I've gone to, ever since they basically started to basically make the changes for the COVID virus, protecting the workers and whatnot. My Aldi's, the plexiglass shield literally starts from right before you get to, like, let's say this is right before you get to the actual cashier, to wrap around to almost to the side of the cashier where the credit card machine is. And even that is covered up. So you have enough room to put your hand onto the keypad to punch it, but she's protected to the point where you literally have to be like leaning around the plexiglass to get to her. The Phillips 66 gas station up the road from me where I get my gas, they had literally a big panel of plexiglass over the opening where normally you stand to give the cashier your products, with a little bit of a cutout so you can put the products underneath there, and in front of the actual cash machine. So they're well protected. Now, from what I understood, from what I, the way it sounded, my store wasn't getting that complicated. But the thing is, the plexiglass that I thought they were talking about was just going to be like this in front of the cashier. Yet you've got this whole opening off to the side, so you got like maybe this much of plexiglass in front of the cash register. Yet you've got this whole opening where the customers stand, where you stand. If that's the case, you might as well not even put that piece of flimsy plexiglass in my store because you're not protecting anything. You're barely protecting the cashier. But I will see when I come in to work because it could be a big piece like my gas station up the road, or it can be this little, might as well call it a face shield. Um, because if it's only a small little piece of plexiglass like that, that's not protection. That's a joke. Of course, my store is kind of a joke anyhow. Or I shouldn't even say my store. I'm thinking it's now the whole company because I haven't gone to the Casey's on 72. I've only gone to mine. I haven't even gone to mine since they supposedly got the plexiglass, which was supposed to be either last Monday or this Monday. And they were saying, oh, it's on the truck. It's on the truck. How big of a piece of plexiglass is it, and how are we dealing with it? I mean, the way my supervisor made it sound before I went on my 9-day vacation, um, that was just a little piece of plexiglass you tuck underneath the register. Well, if that's the case, you're not really getting a protective. Hold on a second. You're not really getting a protective piece of plexiglass. You're getting. No, you're not getting enough to protect the workers. You're barely getting enough to protect the customer. But my thing is, there's so many things about my Casey's, and I don't. And like I said, I say my Casey's because I don't know what the other Casey's are like. It's the one I work at, but there's a lot of things going on, and I don't know if it's company wide or just our store. That let's just say it's a little fishy. Um, it, it might work here in Missouri. I don't know if it works in other states, but um, Missouri is a little Missouri is a little bit of an oddball state, for as I'm concerned, because it's a right to work state, which is good. Basically, it's good in the factor that we don't worry about the unions. We're not a big unionized state. What we are, though, is let's just say this much. If I was a manager and I wanted to be a real big dick, and you started arguing with me about how things should be ran, which I know is one of the things I argue about because of the factor of I see how it's being ran here other compared to New York, which is where I've had most of my work experience that I can remember. My adult life work experience. But let's just say if I were to, no, I'm not even going to say I'm the boss. Let's say I go to argue with one of my supervisors or my current boss about how it's being ran, and I did not step down. I just said my piece, but didn't back off. I just kept going. If I basically overstepped what my supervisor would consider the boundaries, and I were to overstep that, she can turn around and fire me right there on the spot, and I would have no way of basically keeping my job or retaliating in a way that's legal and right. But once she signs the paperwork for my termination, that's it. There's no fighting it because that's the way a right to work state works, or at least that's the way it works around here. I don't know about the rest of the state, but anyhow, my biggest reserve for going back is just I don't want to go into a disaster. I don't want to have to basically sit there and look around and go, oh my God, they didn't do any cleaning. This needs to be done. That needs to be done. But then not being able to do it because last the last time I worked before my vacation, it was nonstop. I had to literally try to do my best to clean in between customers because I don't know what's going on. I don't know if it's just a factor that one, a lot of places around us are closing at 8 because that's one of the things that was suggested by both CDC and the Missouri State Governor to basically close your shops down early. Well, since it wasn't one of those like enforced things, it was just a suggestion. Instead of closing down early, like let's say 9, close down at 10. That's only an hour's difference between our original closing time at 11 and whatnot. And usually, before this whole Clover thing started happening and we were closing down an hour early, the 10 to 11 slot was the deadest time of the day, and that's when I did the bulk of my cleaning. Well, now I have to do it at 9, and the problem is a lot of customers are still coming on at 9. In fact, the first week we started closing at 10, people were getting upset when they'd come to the door at 10 o'clock and try to open the door and the doors were locked. Or as soon as they tried to walk in the door, I'd be like, I'm sorry, I'm closed. And they'd be like, what do you mean you closed? You closed at 11. No. This whole virus thing has basically had us closing at 10. Granted, there's signs on the door saying what time we close, but people around here, I don't know if it's ignorance, arrogance, or a learning disability, but they just don't seem to read the signs. Signs are big, bold, and black and white right there in your face as soon as you walk in the door, and you're not like, oh, what does this say? No, they're just like opening the door, walking in, not even caring. So, but we'll see how it is when I get into the store today. I'm hoping tonight because it's Wednesday. Of course, lately it doesn't matter what day of the week it is. It seems to be the same stuff every day. But a lot of the stores that I've gone to during my vacation time have slowed down. There are certain times of the day when they're really, really, really busy, like middle of the day, because a lot of places are talking about closing down even earlier. They used to close down. When it all started, most of the stores were closing at 8 p.m. So we'll see what it's like at work. Right. Good news though. Um, when we woke up this morning, there was a notification in our email that a direct deposit had hit our bank, and it was the promised stimulus check by the government. So those are going out. I'm not going to say how much mine was, because that's just information I won't give out. But they are coming out. Um, I don't know if they're doing it by name or what, but I'm pretty sure Mom's has gotten here too. She said she'd check her bank, but they are coming. Um, so that's good. Everybody, at least that is one thing the government is not lying about. No, I'm not a big supporter of my government because in the last I want to say in the last decade at least. Now, Obama wasn't my favorite. He did a lot of things I did not like, but at least he didn't lie through his teeth or act like he was a puppet. because that's exactly what Trump is doing. He's acting like he's a puppet for some other bigwig, some other power, and not one of a good nature by by the looks of things. I don't know if you guys know, but the government knew about at least 2 weeks in advance about the cobra virus and about some people who were on a cruise ship who were infected by it. Trump and his administration could have gotten ahead of this by about 2 weeks. But because he him and hawed and tried to deny the fact that there was a virus or a chance of us getting the virus, he dropped the ball. He has basically put this country in a state of ruin, which, if you knew Trump, see, this is the thing, is when the election was happening between Hillary and Trump, I was going for Hillary because I would rather deal with the devil that I know instead of the devil I don't know. The one thing I did know about Trump, and that's one of the biggest reasons why I didn't want to vote for him, is because of the fact that he has either bought up, built up, or found some way to cause issues. Anybody who ever knew about the Taj Mahal gambling casino in Jersey Shores, that was a Trump building. He let that go into ruin and basically bankruptcy. And then he tried to claim bankruptcy when he had billions of dollars in offshore foreign accounts that nobody could touch. That's one reason. Another reason why is he went over to Scotland and he bought up all this land in Scotland to basically try to build a golf course, thinking that would earn him money. There was one piece of land, one of the largest chunks of land that he wanted to buy out, that had been a sheep farmer's property since Charlemagne, basically, forever. And Trump was going to offer him up as much money as the gentleman wanted, and he basically told him to go F off. Or as the Scottish would say, go frick off. Which had me rolling in. I mean, I was just laughing my tail end off when I heard about that. And I'm pretty sure if he would have been able to get that gentleman to sell that piece of property and build up his golf course, he would have let that go into ruin and tried to claim bankruptcy, even though he had billions of dollars hiding away someplace. Now that he's president, basically he thinks he's untouchable, but no. If enough evidence were to pop up and he couldn't control it, he would not only not be the president, but he'd be owing the American people basically every penny he owns plus the shirt off his back. That's my personal opinion. I don't like Trump. Trump is a complete and utter freaking moron. Again, my opinion. But that's all I'm going to say about politics, because I really don't like politics. I am like my father, and my father said it best once: you can take every politician in America, drop them off on a deserted island in the middle of nowhere with one boat big enough for one person, and basically say, if you're strong enough, if you're capable enough to basically earn or defeat everybody in fair combat, you can take that one boat and come home. That's my personal opinion as well. See why I don't talk about politics? Anyhow, another 30-minute video, which today I didn't want to do, but it happened. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. If you have any positive, and I know some of my comments were not exactly all that positive, but at least I didn't go down the rabbit hole as deeply as I could have. But try to keep your comments positive. I know it's kind of going to be hard to do after some of my last words. If you have any friends, family, or coworkers who might be interested in this video, or any of my other past videos, have them join. Let them join the family. I'm looking forward to having more people. Actually, um, I know some people will not be able to keep everything positive, but you know what? If it's not positive, right? I don't think it's positive. I'll just ignore it. I won't delete it. I'll just ignore it. But yeah, go ahead and have them ring that bell. Uh, YouTube will let you know when I put in a new video. So until next time, God bless. Have a good day.